how beautiful is this? This is amazing. I think this is my first time to Maiponga Beach. I don't ever remember being here. I mean, like, this is South Australia. This is why it's awesome. Look at the colour of that sand and the water. We don't get this really in New Zealand. It's all rough water and black beaches. It's so pretty. So we've just cycled here. We just came down this really gnarly, gravelly road, which I think we're going to be riding back up. But here, I'm going to ride Maiponga Beach Road. It's gravel, about 5 kilometres, about 5% gradient, but there's this like steep bit at the start, and then it's apparently just like goes a little bit up and down, and then a little bit more flatter at the top. Came and sort of saw it last weekend, just the top of it, and it's been graded recently, but it's quite loose and there's this like sandy bit, so yeah, that's going to be interesting on the roadie. But I'm looking forward to this one. This is really cool. And actually, I heard about this, Dan told me about this, it's a few months ago, and he came here with a friend of his, and he's been telling me, when he told me, I'm like, oh my god, there's no way I would ever do that on my road bike. And then here I am doing it, because like I've been practicing and like going more on gravel and stuff. So I'm really looking forward to this and the views. So keep watching, because the views are going to be amazing. So I'm doing this for you because I want you to see this amazing scenery and the beach and the water and going up, like climbing up. So keep watching and enjoy the view. All right, I'm going to narrate this today with Dan, as I do with my other videos. It's so cool having Dan along, because he's got all the stats and the information, and he's the one that inspires me to do all of these rides. It's really cool. So hey Dan.
Hi Serafina.
This is really cool. Actually, this is such a beautiful ride, and you told me about it, as I'd mentioned before, but where did you first hear about it?
I'd been down there with mates years and years ago to the beach, and they were staying down on a shack down there, so I was aware that the road existed, but not until I got out and discovered riding that I managed to get down there and do the actual climb one time a few years ago. So yeah, but yeah, the sights and the scenes coming down that hill, it just reminded me of, you know, how nice it is to be out on a bike. And so I thought, yeah, why not share it with you? And I knew you'd like it as well.
Oh, I loved it. And I remember you saying that the gravel was really gnarly and it was real, but actually I found the gravel not too bad. And so most of the climbs, so we started off on the tarmac, but it's gravel like this the whole way. And this is actually a really steep section, this first part, wasn't it? Like, yeah, that was the hardest part.
The first part here looks pretty, yeah, I think it's 11% average for about 600 meters at the very start of the climb. And it used to be quite thick, darker looking sort of gravel, but now it's all graded and smooth. So yeah, you've done it at the right time. But yeah,
I would come down like a week before to do some filming, and we didn't end up doing it because it was blowing a gale and we've been riding a bit in the wind. So this was such a perfect day to do it. It was so beautiful, and there's amazing views. So yeah, keep watching, because the views will just, like, you'll see it. I didn't see it while I was riding, but you guys will see it as I'm riding now. But yeah, Maiponga is so beautiful. Like, it's such a beautiful part of South Australia.
It kind of looks like a painting or something unfolding as you're riding down. It's like a moving painting, and as you're looking left and right, you're like, wow, is this actually real? It feels like you're in some sort of different world.
Yeah, and actually you'll see that, like, it just opening. Oh, actually, I'm just watching me right in there. I remember this section of just like pushing. Actually, because you were going
fast up that steep bit. I'm not used to that, and I looked around and you were right on my tail.
Still
and I knew there was a steep, quite a fast QOM for that first steep section. I thought, depending on how you're feeling that day, we could push for that, and you did end up getting that by a couple of seconds.
Yeah,
so that was a really good effort.
That was so cool. It was like, and like, because I'd just done the Dirty Dozen a few days before, so I think I still had that sort of fitness in me, and I was still getting used to my 42 cassette, but that's I think that's helping as well. So I've got the fitness, the 42 cassette, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just determined to keep up with you. And you said that there was going to be some little down parts and then some more up, so I knew that if I just push hard here, I'll have a little bit of recovery time.
Yeah, that's the thing about this climb, is you keep getting little recoveries after all the steeper sections. It's actually got flat spots and downhills, and I mean, we had a bit of a tailwind that day, so that helps as well. Yeah,
actually I really like that. It's got that nice variety actually with the because you've got the gravel and then you've got the ups and the downs, so it's not like with, say, something like Norton where it just sort of keeps going up, or Crafers, whereas this one you've got those down parts. So recovery time, like, you've got, I don't know, I find I recover really fast on the downhill, so I know I can push on the uphill. Yeah, and so it's really cool. It's such a beautiful climb.
And at the moment, yeah, you're speeding up. I think you're over the steepest bit at the start, and then it kind of flattens and then kicks up again, and then probably the second half of the climb is more of a false flat than there's not much steep stuff by the end. And
Yeah.
you're just racing along. We were flying at the end.
Yeah, but actually, just before you carry on, just because some people might not know what a false flat means, because I didn't know until you first told me that. What does a false flat mean?
Yeah, it sort of means like 2 or 3% gradient, where you look at it and you're like, is that really going uphill? It doesn't look uphill at all, but you don't realise until you're climbing it that, you know, and if you have got a tailwind like we had on that day, you're going along like you are going on the flat. And I mean, you can see here you've come over that first rise, and I think you're speeding towards there's another little kicker in the distance, but on this section it was like very smooth and graded, and it's almost like a cricket pitch, and you were just racing along. You know, like you're on the runway at an airport. There's no trees around, the wind's behind you.
It was
and it's just a great feeling.
It was cool, like, and as well, like, just being able to follow you, because you were keeping an eye out for those sandy bits, because there was those sand bits in there.
Yeah.
And, like, if we like hit those at speed, and
it's very deceptive, this one. And I found that out last time we were descending, and I think I went too far onto the side of the road, and it's crazy because it looks like the rest of the road,
but
and then all of a sudden you find yourself in 4-inch deep sand, and
you're spinning out, like you're going wobbly like a snake.
All over the place.
Yeah, but I was lucky to be able to just like follow you, and you're yelling out like, oh, be careful of that one, or be careful here, stick to the middle, that's the safe. So if you're riding this one, make sure you stick to the middle, because that's the safest spot.
On the sides there, it's really loose in spots, but you can't pick exactly where they are. It sort of looks, in some spots it looks really sandy, but it's not. And then other sections it could look reasonable, and then suddenly it's you're
like
losing
quicksand.
it.
Look at that view though behind, like, oh, it's just stunning, like, and just the colours, and it's such a beautiful time of year as well. Oh, that's right, that car did go past.
We were lucky to not have much traffic.
I think that was the only car actually.
I think it was the only one. The day I did this, my fastest, I remember I had my headphones in and I was cranking the music, and it didn't even, wasn't even any awareness that a car could be right behind me or anything, because I'm taking up the whole road, But luckily most people down there are on holidays, so they're not really, they've got time, they're not angry,
Yeah, I know, it's cool. Like, everyone's just really cruisy down that part of South Australia. I love it, because most people on holiday, like you said, I love the colour of the earth. Like, it just really, that's what always gets me about Australia. It's just the earth colour. And actually, we're coming up close to the end now.
You're racing along. I think that's right near the end of the climb, in fact. And I was surprised because the QOM was 18 something, and I looked on our timer, and you were right there at 17. I'm like, that's the end of the road.
Yeah.
You finished the climb, and
cool.
you smashed the time that you were aiming for, so that was really good.
It was so cool. It was such a cool ride. I highly recommend this. Let's jump back into the video. Oh my goodness. I hope you enjoyed the view, because I couldn't see the view at all, and I imagine it was amazing. Going on gravel, and the whole thing was gravel, and there's these real slippy bits, so I had to follow Dan's wheel, and the whole time he's like, stay in the middle, stay in the line, because that's the safest place. I'm so glad. I don't think any cars came past. It's like, I suppose, like, because Norton Summit is similar 5 and 5, but this was prettier, and it's got more down and then up, so the ups are steeper, but then you got a little recovery, and so it's just like pushing, knowing that I'm going to have a little bit of recovery. And Dan fortunately has ridden this before, so he's like, you've got recovery coming up, so it's like pushing. So different from riding the Dirty Dozen, because that's just more like, in a way, endurance. So this is like getting the heart pumping and giving it everything you've got for, the 20 minutes. I think I might have got the QOM. I didn't say this at the start, but the goal was to go for the QOM on this as well, and I think I might have got it. I'll know at the end when I finish this ride, but that's awesome. It's beautiful out here, it's stunning. And even if you're not going for a QOM and wanting to push yourself, if you're in Maiponga in South Australia, come and give this road a go. It's so awesome out here, it's awesome. But just watch the gravel now for the descent, and then Dan's gonna have a go at a QOM on another gravel climb. So awesome.
There's a lot of sand in there.
Lots of sand.
Some of those spots.
Oh,
I
that's
was
a-
looking at it going, I'm not sure
On
what
this
it is.
one?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a, but last time we came and checked it out about a week ago, rode down a little bit and the sandy bits are like, you hit them and like our wheels were skidding out and you almost like come off, and it's like you leave this snake trail of like this. So it's good to know to be on your bike, just to go with it, not to like slam on the brakes, because that's when you'll come off. So yeah, just relying on that. So yeah, be careful if you do come and do it. Just be mindful that there's some really sandy, slippery spots on there if you're going at speed. Just know how to handle your bike, or just ride it carefully and easily. Okay, catch my breath, and then we're running. Dan's gonna go for his on another one, and then so, yeah, go ride back to Seaford, catch the train back to Adelaide. Keep watching, remember to subscribe if you haven't already. More views, more riding, and more awesomeness coming.
Here it is.
Birds are like riding in the slipstream or something. They all come flying when the car went past. The birds all mooning there. That was cool.